Hey everybody, welcome back to What's Your Tag here. This is Dude Wants His Rug. We're going to give you a quick look and a little bit of talk about the Amazing Spider-Man 2 for Xbox 360. Right here we're selecting our difficulty level, human, hero, superhero, easy, normal, hard for everybody else. But I had heard about this game, heard it's pretty bad, pretty much shouldn't have been done, but I wanted to give it a fair shot here. So I gave it a rental here and thought, well, we'll play through it a little bit. And you take a quick look at it here, and you see it doesn't look bad. I mean, this is the 360 version, so yeah, it would look better on the current gen consoles. Okay, yeah, that's fine, but you know what? For a 360 game, it actually looks pretty good. So I'm not going to knock it for that.
Hey kid!
I'm going to knock it for some other things.
Not my problem.
I won't really knock it for the story either. I got about 2+ hours into this thing, and it's actually not that bad. The mechanical problems in it are what got me to stop playing it. Starts out pretty slow here. You see they're doing a little bit of backstory here, blah blah blah. We all know the Spider-Man routine. If you've ever followed Spider-Man, you know what happens here, okay? You saw the guy running by. Okay, Peter Parker didn't stop him. All of you watching, take a wild guess what's happening here. But what you really see here is, okay, I got one destination, I'm trying to get to it, and I don't get the ability to run until you get the prompt here.
That sounded like
Which this is how your abilities, your powers, and everything are introduced to you throughout the game
Uncle
here.
Ben!
Which they actually do a pretty decent job prompting you, kind of giving you an in-game tutorial on how to do things. So that's a plus for the game. And you continue to get the abilities throughout the first stages of the game. Now obviously at some point you have to be quote-unquote fully evolved as Spider-Man. I'm gonna guess that's later in the game than I got to.
Uncle Ben was my rock in a world where I couldn't count on anything.
Poor Uncle Ben.
A world where my parents
Poor
disappeared.
Uncle Ben.
Where a genetically modified spider bite turned me into something.
Yeah, backstory.
But now, Uncle Ben was gone. For his memory, for Aunt May, to make up for not
and again,
stopping
you look
his
at these
killer when I should
cutscenes,
have.
they look pretty
I had
good.
to become a man.
Look at the style they're done
Spider-Man.
in. Again,
I've done some
pretty good.
Put away a lot of bad guys.
360 version,
found the
mind
man
you,
who
but
killed
pretty
Uncle
good.
Ben. Just one more empty space.
So they're pretty much setting up what you're doing for the game here. And mind you, these scenes and such, and the next levels don't load as fast here. I cut a lot of the wait time out of here. There are some artifacting problems in here, like particularly there was one scene where there's sunlight coming through a window and blinds on it. It kind of had a strobe light effect on the one side, so not perfect, but
the man who
pretty
killed
good
Uncle
graphics.
Ben is out there somewhere.
I'm still going to tell you that. I mean,
we'll find
you
him.
watch the cutscene right here with Spider-Man standing there. Like right now, that looks pretty good.
I'll never stop looking for Uncle Ben's killer.
I'm not knocking it for that.
Never.
What I'm going to start knocking it for is right here where you start controlling Spider-Man. This is where it's not so good. Again, here's the prompts. Basically, in-game tutorial telling you how to do things, which is fine. That's good. It's just actually doing them. I'm thinking, okay, you see where the reticule is? I think that's where I'm aiming. That's where I'm going to be swinging to. That's not what's happening. You see, I'm going completely off path here. This becomes a problem throughout the game, trying to do this, because it becomes very disorienting to try to keep your direction, keep your momentum going in the proper way. Like, you know, I'm just trying to make my way down this same street here, and the camera angle's going all over the place here. It's not locking, it's not staying oriented. I'm constantly readjusting just to keep my direction in the path I want to go in. Later in the game, you'll see it towards the end of the clip here. You get another ability here that actually gives you a more straight line way to travel, and it actually works a lot better than this web slinging deal. You would think it'd be really cool to web sling like Spider-Man through the streets. It's not in this game. it just doesn't work. It's not good. Really, the other way to travel is much better, much more straightforward. And I mean, I understand they want to display the city, they want to play it off here, but it's just not worth it. I'd rather have more of a game on rails here and just play straight through. And you see, somehow it's super dark here. It's kind of hard for me to even see the game playing it here. So here in a minute here. Yep, right here. I get myself into the settings here. I'm going to change this. I'm going to try to fix it up some. Yep, click that thing the whole way up there, just so you barely see it, which is as far as you can take it. Click, click, back.
Looks like the guy who killed Uncle Ben, but I'm not sure.
And here,
I need to get
they have
some
you doing
pictures
these
of
little
it.
things here, like taking
Let's
pictures.
Get a good look at this guy's
No
ugly
prompt
face.
exactly what you're looking for. Take one. No, that's not it. Okay, zoom in further. I guess.
Now that's a keeper.
Hey, look, that must be what I was supposed to do.
Not who I'm after.
Yeah, I don't know that. It's kind of a bad play to not prompt you or give you a little bit here. Now, right here, you got your spider sense going on. The bad thing is, you see me searching around here, there's no directional thing. I don't know where the danger is coming from. Give me some kind of prompt. And finally, I look up, and, oh, how do you get out of the way? Would have been nice if one of those things out of your head would have been like a different color, been a different length, something to indicate direction maybe. That'd be an improvement here. Right here you get your first taste of combat. And actually this is one of the more satisfying
starting to get
parts
predictable.
of the game. Combat actually works pretty well in this game.
Will you be my arch enemy?
Later you'll see me go into spider sense mode, and that can kind of make it more difficult. But right here you see basic elements of just your attack, your dodge. Later things you can do include just shooting web packets to kind of incapacitate your enemy, and you can do a web pull to take weapons away. So you actually got a pretty good variety of things you can do in combat. And that's good. Oh no, watch out. This guy has a
You're gonna
bat.
pay for what you've done, Spider-Man!
And here's where you get your web shoot. Tap, 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 tap. You get them all sticky. And you see a couple varieties of takedowns here.
Hey, get me down!
And throughout that fight sequence, you heard some of Spidey's little banter here. It's cute at first, you know, hey, will you be my arch enemy? Hey, is that what you call fighting? And that's all funny at first.
I'm afraid of needles.
For the first couple fights. And then you realize he has a very limited repertoire of things he says.
But, you know, the cops will find
They're
by then.
repeated within the same fight.
What?
You hear them in every fight for the game.
Just put me on the ground.
It kind of
Jails
just
all
gets
have
old.
the same fashion
It just wears off
There are a lot
after a
of
while.
criminals who look like you.
Could have
I'm trying
tuned
to
it back
fight
a
this
little
one.
bit.
I seen that guy. He sells guns to my boss, Herman Schultz.
Lying will not improve my move.
Yeah, I swear, Mr. Schultz.
You
is
kind of
doing
got
a deal
Spider-Man
right
doing
now.
a bad Batman
I don't know if
impression
it's
here,
with
you
him.
know, trying to
He's
go all
got enough
tough on the
firepower
guy.
to take on an army, man.
Army? Which army?
The Russians, man. They arm up, we arm up. Scary times, man. You gotta be ready for anything. You know what I'm talking about?
Tell me where to find Schultz, okay? Maybe I'll upgrade your accommodations to a fire hydrant.
Really, fire
Say,
hydrant so the dogs
pretty
can
good.
be on him.
Huh?
Oh,
Got a
yeah.
deal?
And here we go. Here's where you get the web rush. This is the more straightforward way of traveling. And you can kind of hop from building to building, object to object here. Again, much better way to travel here. Later on, I see that you can kind of use it if you hold the right bumper button in. It kind of gives you time to aim up your shot, so you can kind of keep direction, pick a better point to shoot, and pull yourself to. So again, that is the better method of travel. A lot less disorienting here. There are side missions throughout this game. You'd see that later after you do this first sequence of the story here. Some of them are just almost impossible or just frustrating. You gotta save people out of burning buildings. It's hard to figure out where they are in the building and how to get to them. You have to turn on your spider sense, which you'll see here in a bit. But it's still kind of hard to find them and get them out. I failed them several times and then eventually just gave up. And unfortunately, that really soured me on the game. Just a poor choice of how to do things in this game. Could have made it work better. But here you go, we're still in the story mode here.
How about I take the guns?
Here you're going to see your introduction to the Spidey sense, which if you've played any of the Batman games, this is like your detective mode. Looks very, very similar. Hit the up button here on your D-pad. Yes, it uses the D-pad. You use almost every button on your controller in this game so far, it feels like. They got you going all over the place to do things. Gives you lots of options and abilities and ways of doing things, but you gotta have some dexterity to be hitting them buttons all over the place. But here we are back in combat. You can see all your assailants. I recommend not staying in the spider sense mode in the combat. I do this here later, get a little disoriented, can't find my enemies. So I turn it off during combat, just makes it a little bit easier. Overall, I kind of feel like the story's going a good direction. I like Spider-Man, I wanted to like this game, but in the end, I gave up on it after a few hours of play. I just couldn't keep with it. It was just too frustrating. It just wasn't enjoying it. So, I am on a roll here, though. I did get that achievement. But, yeah, I mean, I don't want to pan it for its story or for its graphics. I want to pan it just for it not mechanically working well. Not being able to flow easy, just not using the engines that it had available to be able to do things good. But if you really like Spider-Man, pick it up. Maybe what you want to do is tune it the whole way back down to easy and play through it. Just so you can enjoy what's happening. That's okay too. That's what we play games for. They're for fun.
2 down.
But hey,
Let's go for the hat.
Thanks for listening to the quick look here. We're about the end of this clip. See you again on What's Your Tag. This is Dude Wants His Rug.
Service here's terrible.
Have a good day.
To your manager.
Enjoy the rest of the clip here.
Don't worry, he'll
No
find
spoilers.
Ken? I think I made my point. This is why they never invite me to gang wars. I ruin all their fun. Ah, you must be Schultz. Your goon said you were ugly, but whoa! He was being charitable.
Think you can take me, huh, freak? Well, I'm not gonna make it easy for you.
Oh, come on!